So we're at the AI for Good Summit in Geneva, and my guest today is Lingli from China Mobile. And I think she's got a fascinating project which we'd like to share with you, Wildlife Symbiosis. On Digital Talk, we spotlight entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators using digital tech and telecoms to drive global impact in a changing world. Uncovering the unexpected, spotlighting hidden gems, and sharing inspiring stories that shine a light on the most transformative corners of our industry. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Could you kindly share with us a little more about your background and the work that you're doing?
Sure. My name is Lingli Deng. I work for China Mobile Research, and it has been my great pleasure to be part of the international collaboration for this company, especially for artificial intelligence and network innovation. And I'm currently, working as a member of the Jiutian artificial intelligence team inside the company and representing the team for a variety of international collaboration projects in standardization development organizations and open source communities.
Fantastic. So does this project fall under open source project? Is that what you're...
No, not currently open sourced, but we have been having discussions with some of our partners who actually did the coding, and it is potentially that we would include it in one of our open source initiatives later.
And can you share a bit more about the project? It sounds quite exciting.
Thank you. This project is actually, an intersection to innovate by combination of communication services as well as artificial intelligence technologies. And the problem that we are targeting is for the areas, especially when the wildlife and human beings actually overlap, how we could leverage the existing communication service infrastructure that was originally designed to cover human communications to wildlife detection and also to help us prevent humanity's activities actually having collisions with these wildlife and harm those natural habitats.
Today's episode is sponsored by IFG Consulting Europe, who help operators to tap into technologies to accelerate digitization of the network, drive revenues, and reduce costs by championing promising software providers. Go to ifgconsultingeurope.com to find out more.
So would you consider this under conservation of the wildlife, or is it of both the people and is the whole ecosystem, if you like, that symbiosis between? Because you mentioned, which is an interesting one, which I hadn't thought of, collision, of course. There's wildlife can collide, of course. And is it mainly marine orientated, or have I misunderstood?
Currently, the focus is for, marine life production. But we believe that it is actually a scalable solution that we could also cover wildlife, in the lands, in that's in forest, as long as, it actually is an area that human and wildlife actually cohabitate. And also, we believe that parts of the solutions actually disaggregated. So despite the fact that we're using 5G advanced for the communication infrastructure, but for some like wildlife conservation parks, away from the humans' activities, the artificial intelligence solutions could also be replicable through those scenarios as well. So it is key that we understand the technical solutions and how to separate them to different scenarios. It will be even more scalable to other scenarios.
Can you give an example of a practical usage of this technology? I mean, in monitoring marine life, what does that look like? Does the person have a mobile phone and he's monitoring? Can you give us an example of how?
Sure. The problem that we are trying to solve is actually a rare wildlife, a species called white dolphin. It is a unique...
white dolphin,
Yeah,
yes.
white dolphin.
They're unique in your part of the world, right?
Exactly. And it has this unique feature, or it actually, grows as baby fishes, upstream in the river in China. and then it comes down to the sea. Well, it gets, adulthood. It comes back to the upstream of the river and give birth to their little ones.
A bit like a salmon does that, I think.
Exactly, like salmon.
It's a similar life cycle of a salmon. But
exactly. So as you see that, they are actually has to constantly encounter human activities along the way throughout their lifespan. So it is important for us to actually detect their activities and make sure that human activities in that kind of like area, critical area, to avoid collision. For example, so we have like dedicated patrol teams in that area. Usually they will do manual patrolling. They have to carry their devices and, identify, how much, dolphins are actually current and do like manual scheduling of the human activities accordingly. That was the traditional way. So it will be, very, how can I put it, demanding both physically and also, because they cannot be there all the time.
Right.
So the efficiency in the coverage would be really limited.
Right. So do you tag the dolphins at all? Are they actually, got a little tag so you can see when a school of dolphins is moving as well? So you have that as well. So you have several ways of, let's say, detecting where they are, and then you have people observing, let's say, secondary information to say, are they healthy? How many are there? Are there new babies?
Exactly.
That sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. So the technology that we're using here is 5G advanced technology, because those areas are also, very rich in human activity. So the facility is already there. And this technology has the enhanced sensing capability. So the base stations can actually acting like a radar. So that the technical center at the back in the center could leverage the data it collected, those base stations collected, and do the identification, do the prediction, and also scheduling the relative, vehicles, vessels, I should say, yes, vessels that are, working in that area to make sure that they won't cause any collision in that area.
Right. So you can warn them to say there's a school of dolphins.
Exactly.
But as you say, using 5G advanced, which is pretty cool. In the part of the world that I live in, we know that China's using 5G advanced, but I'm not sure we're still thinking about it. But congratulations on.
You should be catching up in no time.
Well, we'll come. We'll find a way of doing that as well. I think you've already answered a lot of the questions as to what you're doing with the project, and I think obvious for good. So, are these dolphins endangered?
Oh, really? Yes, because for those accidents that was caught, we see like severe casualties every year. But by deploying our solutions since last year, the accident actually, the dolphins died during that year actually reduced by 97%.
The number of accidents reduced by 97%. Wow, that's great. Yeah. Dolphins are one of those species that humans have a natural affinity to, and they don't like them to see them damaged at any point in time. But China Mobile and towards your project, we're now at obviously this global summit, AI summit. What brought you here, and how are you enjoying it?
Right. We are very honored to be awarded, by the ITUT AI for Good use cases. And we believe that it is a great encouragement to our project team. But beyond that, we believe that this summit is also a very good platform for us to share our experience and find potential members to make it replicable and applicable to other regions, of the world. Because we believe that by standardization, for example, the ITUT was good at for communication services and also other, initiatives that we are meeting here, around this week, we could find potential partners to further standardizing this project, making it a standard offer by communication services, for example, in your area of living in Europe or other South Africa, that would reduce considerably the expenditure that needs to be invested when you want to try to build your own harmony between wildlife and humanity.
I think you've nicely gone into one of the next questions I wanted to ask, which was the pressing issues, that you think beyond the project and the work that you're doing. What do you think should the world be looking at doing?
Well, I think it is essentially important for us to work collaboratively rather than, in a divided and fragmented manner, especially not only for this communication industry, but for all sectors of society, be it weather change or be it, like war prevention. We need to work together by sharing our experience and establish more friendly and honest collaboration. I think it will be achievable.
Yeah, I think you're right, and we need to make sure the world sticks together, and as I say, we can achieve more together than separately. One of the things on our podcast, as I say, we also are trying to do good, and we want to give you the opportunity to do a shout out. So have you got someone in mind or an organization you'd like to give a shout out?
Well, yes, we would be very pleased if we can actually, leverage ITUT as a platform to not only, do a podcasting for our use case, but also having a standardization platform that we could really, get this solution into region specification for all the vendors and solution, integrators when they are trying to address similar problems.
Yes. As you know, one of the challenges in telecommunications is that we lack that standardization, and lots of people, we were talking here at the event with AI and the various data formats, platforms, and each time it's a new build. And to actually create something more unified is certainly reduces costs, but is a benefit to all. So I totally agree with that. It's been a great pleasure to have you on the podcast, Lingli, and you're now part of the Digital Talk community. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you for having me. Great pleasure.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to rate us and subscribe, and feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. And if you have comments or ideas for future episodes, please send us an email. Thanks for being part of the Digital Talk community and for listening. Stay tuned.